Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, we dived into episode 8 of Pluto. The episode kicked off when May heard Ai's whisper a truth she never wanted to face. I don't want to be Om anymore. The words hit May like a storm, leaving her reeling in pain because she understands why Ai's is holding back. Ai's is too tormented by guilt to reveal her true identity. In a trembling voice, May confesses, I already know. You're not Om, but I also know you love me. May's voice cracks as she continues, even if you love me, Ai's, I'm not sure you could forgive me. If you knew the truth that I caused the pain in the lives of people you love, you'd hate me. Her words hang heavy, unspoken memories flashing before her. Ben, crippled and does not receive justice because of her. Tears stream down her face as she embraces the sleeping Ai's, unable to speak the truth. Her silent apology fills the room, aching in the space between them. The next morning, Ai's takes May to a serene mountainside, a place filled with nature's beauty. But as they sit on the hillside, May's blindness robs her of the breathtaking view. Ai's, with tender care, describes the landscape in vivid detail, painting the scene with words. The sky is painted with soft blues and greens. Flowers sway as the breeze kisses the grass. May listens intently, picturing every word. I wish I could see it for myself, she says wistfully. Ai's smiles gently. Then draw it. I'll help. Together, they create a sketch, May guiding the pencil, Ai's steadying her hand. When the drawing is complete, Ai's asks, what did you draw? May lowers her head. Something I can't explain. It's an emotion I can't put into words. She hesitates, then takes Ai's hand and places it on her chest. Do you feel it? Ai's is stunned, lost in the raw vulnerability of May's confession. The two spend the rest of the day exploring nature, capturing moments with photos and laughter, as if the weight of their secrets could be left behind. When the night falls, they sit on the roof of their camping van under the glow of countless stars. Ai's points to the sky, describing each star in intricate detail. The stars are like scattered diamonds, she begins. They compete to outshine one another but still lose to the moon, with its soft, golden glow. May listens, enchanted by the poetry in Ai's voice. But her expression grows somber. Do you think Pluto is out there among those stars? Ai's paused, puzzled. I'm not sure. May smiles faintly, her voice carrying a melancholic edge. Pluto was once part of the solar system, but then it wasn't. People forgot it even existed until it was too late. She looks at Ai's, her voice heavy with meaning. Sometimes, we treat people the same way. We let them drift away, until one day, they're gone, and we're left wondering why we didn't hold on. Ai's is struck silent by May's words, a pang of guilt settling deep within her heart. She wonders if she's destined to become May's Pluto, a fleeting memory lost to time. The following day, they return to Bangkok. Ai's takes May home, but accidentally discovers her diary while waiting. In it, May recounts her first love, who once defended her from bullies. May had admired Om since then, waiting for her every day at school and eventually falling in love with her. The more Ai's reads, the heavier her heart grows. It wasn't me May fell for, it was Om. Ai's realizes her deception may destroy everything. When May finds out I'm not Om, she'll hate me. I'll just be a liar she once loved. I'll be her Pluto. Her thoughts are interrupted by a phone call. Her grandmother's voice trembles with excitement. Om woke up. She's conscious. Come to the hospital. Ai's freezes, a whirlwind of emotions consuming her. Relief battles with fear. As she rushes to the hospital, a thought lingers. If I could choose, I'd keep things simple. I'd choose May. Ai's rushes to the hospital, where Om greets her cheerfully but admits to memory loss due to the accident. Their grandmother reassures them that Om's memories will return slowly. This gives Ai's a glimmer of hope. She now has more time with May before the truth inevitably comes out. Once they're left alone, Om begins recounting her story with May, her voice soft and brimming with emotion as she relives every detail. Ai's listens intently, her chest tightening with a mix of guilt and longing. Despite the ache inside, she can't help but smile at Om's radiant enthusiasm, a warmth that momentarily dulls the weight of her own secrets. Your accident, Ai's finally says, her voice low but sincere, it taught me so much. I realized what love truly means because of it. Om tilts her head, curiosity flickering in her eyes. And what about you? She asks gently. Who's the person you love? Ai's hesitates, her gaze faltering as her tone softens. There's not much to tell. We broke up. Om's brows knit together in concern. Why? It was the wrong place, and the wrong time, Ai's murmurs. Everything between us was built on a lie. Om leans forward, her voice edged with worry. What kind of lie? Ai's exhales shakily, her words barely audible. I lied about who I was. Om's eyes widen, and she sits upright. Wait. You mean like when you used to pretend to be me? Ai's lowers her gaze, unable to meet her twin's piercing stare. Om's expression shifts to shock as realization dawns. Who did you pretend to be this time? Not me again, right? Ai's nods reluctantly, the guilt evident in her features. I'm not proud of it. she admits. I was so stupid back then. I'm sorry. I swear I'll never do it again. You'd better not, says firmly. And you have to apologize to her. Tell her the truth. If you keep pretending, you'll lose her for good when she finds out. And trust me, she will find out. Eyes forces a bittersweet smile, though her eyes glisten with unshed tears. Being you isn't easy, you know, but it's okay. Whatever happens, I'll face it. If this is my punishment, I'll accept it. In the end, I'll just be like Pluto, forgotten, fading out of the galaxy. Om's sternness softens as she studies her twin. Why would you say something like that? Eyes hesitates, her voice trembling with raw emotion. Because her world is coming back. I don't understand what you mean, says gently, leaning closer. But after everything I've been through, there's one thing I've learned. Life is too short to waste on regret. If you love her, tell her. If you made a mistake, own up to it. Be with the person who loves you back. You'll regret it more if you don't try. Eyes looks at her twin, torn between hope and despair. Her heart feels unbearably heavy. You're right, she whispers, nodding slowly. Life is short. A small, hopeful smile tugs at Om's lips. When I fully recover, she declares, her eyes sparkling, I'm going to propose to May. Eyes freezes, her breath catching in her throat. You're not fully recovered yet, she murmurs, her voice laced with quiet desperation. And you don't remember everything yet. She thinks silently, but time is slipping away. Is like a ticking time bomb. When her memories return, she'll remember asking me to break up with May. Then May will know the truth, that I've been lying to her all along. Clenching her fists, Eyes steels herself, a silent vow forming in her heart. She still has time, and she'll use every precious second to create memories worth cherishing. Thank you, she says with a faint smile, her voice trembling with determination, before rushing out the door to see May. Watches her go, confusion and curiosity swirling in her mind. What is Eyes hiding? At midnight, when Eyes arrived at May's doorstep, her heart still raced with nervous energy. The door opened, revealing May, her soft features framed by the pale glow of the porch light. She wore pajamas, her hair slightly tousled, and a gentle smile when she saw Eyes coming. You're here, May said warmly, her voice a soothing balm to Eyes' anxious heart. Eyes stepped inside, taking a deep breath to steady herself. The words she'd been rehearsing felt heavy, caught somewhere between fear and hope, but she couldn't hold them back any longer. May, Eyes began, her voice barely above a whisper. May tilted her head slightly, her expression curious but patient. Eyes took a step closer, her gaze steady despite the nervous flutter in her chest. Please, just be with me. There was a moment of stillness, the kind where emotions hang in the air, unspoken but deeply understood. May's eyes widened briefly, but her smile didn't falter. Instead, she nodded, her silence speaking volumes. Without hesitation, she reached for Eyes, pulling her into a tight, reassuring hug. Eyes melted into the embrace, feeling the warmth and safety that only May could provide. For a moment, she wanted to absorb everything, the scent of her, the softness of her touch, the quiet strength in her arms, because deep down, she feared that one day, this would all slip away. I want to be happy with you, Eyes said, her voice breaking with emotion. I want to make the most of my time with you. May pulled back just enough to look at her. Her smile softened, and she cupped Eyes' face with gentle hands. Then let's make every moment count, she said, her tone as steady as a promise. They moved together, not in haste but in understanding, a silent agreement to let this night be theirs. Every touch, every word, was deliberate, an expression of trust, love, and the unspoken fears that lingered in the background. For Eyes, this wasn't just a night, it was a memory she wanted to hold on to, a piece of happiness to keep in her heart for as long as she could. And as May held her, guiding her through the uncertainty with quiet confidence, Eyes allowed herself to let go of fear, if only for a little while. I love you, May, Eyes whispered, her words carrying the weight of everything she couldn't say before. May's smile widened, her eyes glistening as she replied, I love you too. After a while, May began to feel that her vision was gradually improving. She decided to visit Dr. Tun, who confirmed that her eye treatment was progressing well. Hearing this news filled May with joy. Dr. Tun then asked if she wanted to share this news with but May replied that she wasn't ready to let know just yet. Elsewhere, when Eyes arrived home, her gaze immediately fell on who sat on the couch, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. The sight stopped Eyes in her tracks, her heart tightening with a pang of worry. What happened? Eyes asked, her voice soft but tinged with concern. Turned to look at her, a storm of emotions flickering across her face. Eyes, did you really break up with May for me? The question hit like a gust of wind, catching Eyes off guard. She hesitated, her mind scrambling for the right words. Well, her voice faltered, and the room seemed to grow heavier. Didn't wait for her answer. Jan told me everything. Why didn't anyone tell me I got married? Her voice was firm, but beneath it lay a layer of confusion and hurt. Eyes sighed deeply, stepping closer. Grandmother didn't want you to stress. She thought it was better to let your memory come back gradually. And May, Ohm's voice cracked. Did you really break up with her? Eyes nodded reluctantly, her heart heavy. Yes, you asked me to, so I did. Ohm's expression twisted into one of disbelief and frustration. She stood abruptly, pacing the room like someone trying to escape their thoughts. How did this even happen? I told you about May. I told you I loved her. You couldn't remember her then, I said softly. I didn't want to overwhelm you. Why did I even get married? Ohm's voice rose, filled with a mixture of anger and despair. Aiza's gaze dropped. Maybe you were looking for something new. Your husband was charming, wealthy, but she stopped herself. But what? Ohm pressed. Aiza exhaled slowly, her words careful. He died in that car accident. Ohm shook her head as if trying to shake off a nightmare. I don't care about him. I don't even remember him. All I remember is May. The name lingered in the air, a tether pulling them both into the past. Ohm's voice softened, trembling now. How was May when you broke up with her? She didn't say much, Aiza admitted. That's just how she is, always strong on the surface. But I know she must have been hurting. Ohm sank onto the sofa, her hands burying her face. I have to see her. I need to explain everything. Eyes hesitated. If your memory comes back, you might not feel the same way. What do you mean? Ohm snapped, her head lifting sharply. Aiza's voice softened, tinged with a sadness she couldn't hide. If you still loved her, why would you marry someone else and ask me to break up with her for you? It means your feelings must have changed. Ohm's face crumbled, her resolve faltering. But I don't feel like they've changed. When I think of her, my heart races. It's like it remembers her. I don't want to break up with her anymore. Eyes looked at her twin, feeling sad when she heard Ohm's words, torn between wanting to comfort her and fearing what the truth might bring. After everything that had happened, Eyes found herself confiding in her best friend, Pang, the one person who always knew her inside and out. Pang listened intently as Eyes poured out her heart, revealing the tangled mess of emotions she had been carrying and the truth she'd uncovered in May's notebook about her first love, Ohm. Pang, ever wise and unwavering, gave Eyes a piece of advice that struck deep. You need to tell May the truth. Pang also brought up the time when Eyes liked to wear Ohm's uniform to mess with her twin. This immediately reminded Eyes of a time when she had worn Ohm's school uniform and wandered onto the school grounds, where she spotted a girl being bullied by a group of students. Without hesitation, she stepped in, shielding the girl and forcing the bullies to back down. The girl's face stayed with her, those wide, terrified eyes, and the gratitude that followed. The puzzle pieces clicked into place in Eyes' mind. The girl from May's journal. It was her. May had written about the person who had saved her so many years ago, the one she had never forgotten. And all this time, Eyes had been oblivious to the connection. Eyes stood abruptly, her heart pounding. I have to go, she blurted, leaving Pang mid-sentence. Her mind raced as she rushed out the door. She had no time to waste anymore. May was the one who had been waiting for her truth all along. She needed to set things right. Not tomorrow, but now. Her destination was May's house. When Eyes arrived at May's house, she was filled with excitement and hurried to meet May to finally tell her the truth. However, just as Eyes approached, she was startled to see Ohm happily talking to May, confessing her love for May. To Eyes' heartbreak, May responded that she loved Ohm too. The two embraced joyfully, unaware of Eyes watching them from a distance. Tears welled up in her eyes as she silently witnessed their happiness. Unable to bear it any longer, Eyes turned and walked away, her tears streaming down her face. She couldn't take the pain anymore. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share to support the channel. Your thoughts matter. Let us know what you think in the comments below. See you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.